Hey everybody, welcome to Chatterbox Live. This is what's so freaking amazing about live shows, that we actually have technical difficulties. We literally just had to restart the whole system. So thanks for waiting, thanks for being patient. I'm super excited to be here, you guys. It's the first official episode of Chatterbox Live. I'm your host, Arie Rose, aka Miss Chatterbox. And why did I name it that? Easy, because I love to talk. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know I always got something to say. Anyways, today I have a dope episode for you guys, and I have kind of like a Valentine's Week edition. If you guys see, I got the red on, you know, looking a little va-va-voom-ish. I just figured, like, why not bring all my sisters and all my fellow gentlemen that follow me, but this is more for the ladies. I had to bring you guys the handsome, the one and only massage therapist, Hands of Fury, Seth.
Hey.
Hey, thanks for joining us
Of course,
today.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah.
So, okay, I've known you for how long now? Let's bring it back. I want to talk about basics.
At least a year.
A year?
At least.
Yeah, it's been like a year.
I'd say about a year, yeah.
Did I hit on you or did you hit on me?
No, neither. We were working together. What you talking about?
I'm totally joking.
Trying to get me caught up.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No, this was for the radio.
Yeah, there's a radio interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember you came into Dash Radio.
Yes.
So how's everything going? You've grown a lot actually since
then. Yeah. I mean, we try to keep making progressive strides, and I feel
Yeah.
like we never stay stagnant. We keep moving. So blessed to be able to say that.
2018 was big for you.
It was really good. Yeah,
It
we did a
was
lot of stuff for
good.
18. Worked with Janet Jackson.
Did you?
Yeah, that was really fun.
Oh my God.
It was
No way.
It was so random too. It came out of nowhere. Because I do a lot of skits, so
Yeah.
I'm within that like community of like
Yeah.
actors and comedians. And she was shooting not a music video because it had already been released, but it was like a commercial for the music video.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Yeah.
her first ever skit that she's done, so it kind of made history for
Wait,
Janet
so
Jackson.
you did a skit with Janet Jackson?
Yeah, and it was fun. It was Janet. It was Blame It on Quay.
What?
He was like the main one, and then,
Yeah,
and then a few
yeah.
other friends. But it was fun, like, and King Batch, of course. So, and just to meet her, and you know, because to meet any Jackson was like a dream. You know, very few people can say they've done that. So to meet her and see how cool she was, and
Yeah.
got that in my little catalog for life.
Janet Jackson, actually, fun fact, it's the
Yeah.
first concert I ever went to when I was little.
So you're lucky. You
My
actually saw a
sister,
concert.
yeah, my sister got me a ticket for Christmas. I'll never forget. She got me this box and it was empty. She did the
Yeah.
whole thing, and then she had taped it on the bottom of the box. She was like,
that's so
flip the
funny,
box
yeah.
over, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I must have been like 10 years old. I've always loved Janet Jackson, but like you said, I
Wow.
think any
Yeah,
Jackson
yeah.
is epic to freaking
Exactly,
be in
yeah.
their presence. What was like the memorable thing that stood out from that day?
Just basically being able to taking the picture, just talking to her, just being so close to her. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, this is like literally a walking legend right
Yeah.
below Michael Jackson.
Isn't it
Unfortunately, I couldn't meet
crazy?
him.
Yeah.
But I felt that sense of just, you know, magic. You know, like when she walks into a room, it's not like a regular person. Like
Yeah.
you literally like, it's weird, you know, because you look up to them so much.
Yeah.
So it was amazing.
And I think like even like in Hollywood, like for example, I mean we live in LA, Hollywood area, and it's like the other day I walked out of this elevator and Ellen DeGeneres was right in front of
That's
me.
big. Yeah.
And I literally was so starstruck. I was just like, like, I love you. Oh my God. And it was like
Yeah.
this event that was going on. And I like called my daughter. I'm like, I want to ask Ellen for one dance.
Oh.
Because you know she's like the dancing queen. I was like, all I want in this
Yeah,
lifetime
yeah.
is to dance with Ellen DeGeneres.
Did you say anything to her? Or you
No,
just-
I did it. I was so
you were too
starstruck.
Ah, yeah.
I love Ellen. I call her
I
Auntie
know.
Ellen. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, she's just fantastic, especially being a TV host.
Exactly.
I mean, you know,
that's
she-
inspiration.
Yeah, it's inspiration. It's somebody that I
Exactly.
look up to, somebody that I idolize, and
Yeah.
you know, I watch her and I just study her, and I love her charisma. So yeah, when I
Yeah.
saw her and she just came out this
Yeah.
elevator, I was
That's
just like,
crazy.
hi.
It always sucks when you miss those opportunities, though. Like, just because you get so scared and you're in the moment, and then when it's over, you're like, what if I just had said something?
But
You know
like, what
I
am
mean?
I
Like,
supposed to say?
And that's true, and that's probably why you didn't say anything. But it's still
Yeah.
kind of like, even if you had just said, hi, I'm a huge
Yeah.
fan. Can I dance with you?
Hey Ellen, can
You
I
know?
just have one dance?
But
She
you
would have
know
been
what?
like,
Yeah.
I'm married. I would have been like,
That's
oh
true,
shit. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, but I just want to.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do believe that first impression is key. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll see people that I really want to meet and talk to, but the circumstances are a little awkward.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it might be kind of awkward to approach this person at the bathroom stall. So let me just, let me wait until I'm introduced to them in a proper way, you know, because
Yeah.
otherwise they'll be like, weren't you that guy? So you know, I do believe everything happens for a reason. So you'll bump into her again.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny that you say that because like one of my biggest pet peeves is when I run into people, you know, like I've always said this and I say it on social media, and I mean, you're a big influencer too. It's like, I want to meet my fans.
Yeah.
I want people to come and approach me. Like I was at Bossa Nova 2 nights ago and this girl came up to me and she was like, hey, I love meeting people.
Yeah.
But what I don't like, and my pet peeve is when someone's like, let's work.
Ah, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but who are you? What do you do? What do you want to work on? Like, you know, and I feel like so I feel like maybe, I mean, either it's people maybe aren't professional or they don't know, you know what I mean? Like the business, how to approach, or I feel like maybe sometimes it's just like, you don't know what to say and you just open your mouth without thinking.
True. I do believe, knowing what to say to somebody is definitely important.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like in this, because before, like I said, before I did this, I did music, right?
Yeah.
And so that was I knew that pitch. I knew how to talk to people. I knew what to say if I met particular people. Doing the massage therapy, like you have to, I don't know, it's just, you got to know how to present yourself because it can come off very awkward if you don't do it right. And so sometimes it's better to just not say anything at all or just have the proper pitch, you know?
Yeah.
And walking up to random people and saying, let's work. Like people send me DMs sometimes and they're like, hey man, I see you coming to my city. Would love to just grab a coffee with you and talk about and pick your brain. And I'm like, that's nice. I appreciate it. But for me to take my time out of like my work, because I'm coming to the city to work, like, there's got to be more into it than just let's just grab a coffee. You know what I mean? Like that's just as random as someone saying let's work. Like work on what?
Yeah, you know? On what? Like what do you want to talk about? Like it's different if they're like, I'm a massage therapist. I'm thinking about putting an event together for something like a retreat, and I could totally use you. Maybe we could work some. Then you're just like, okay, so this is a opportunity for myself as well. It's not just pick my brain.
Exactly.
And I even told my sister because she had wanted to do something on eBay, right?
Yeah.
And I know this girl. Her name is Monica. She's a huge eBay seller. Like she quit so she was working at Wells Fargo. Yeah. She had been there for years. She quit her job, and the first year she made almost $100,000 on eBay. She was down to $50. Wow. She was down to $50, you guys. Wow. And she was depressed, quit her job. She had $50 left. She took it to the thrift store. Yeah. Bought $51 items. Wow. Sold them. Started flipping all these like used items. And the first year she almost capped at $100,000 worth of profit.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And so she spoke at one of my Sip and Slays, and my sister was like, I want to talk to her. And I go, okay, well DM her, but say like, hi, I would like to pay for an hour of your time for you to mentor me. Yeah. So I feel like there's always going to be like an approach.
Exactly.
And you have to know how to approach people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there always has to be like a win for somebody else, because I think like once you deal with people that are, and I'm not saying we're like too above or whatever, but you know, when you start trying to learn from people that are escalating or at a higher level, like you gotta come at them with something, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like you're not gonna walk into NBC and demand a meeting, you know, or walk in and see the president of NBC and be like, hey.
Yeah, you gotta have a plan. There's gotta be something, you know?
Yeah, like this is what I have. That's why we say it's so important to know what you're bringing to the table before you even try to take a seat at the table.
Exactly.
You know?
Like I was just on the Steve Harvey show like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God, yes, and, I saw that.
It was like it was a dating segment, so it was cool. It's not like I would really be trying to go on a dating segment, but it's Steve Harvey. You don't say no when they call you. So we went there, and the way it was set up is they had like a bunch of bachelors, and they were trying to pick us to be paired up with this one girl. Yeah. And it was a great time, but all in all, I went on it because I had a bigger vision as to what I was going to do with this opportunity. So my goal was to go on there, have fun, you know, get the exposure, whatever, but meet Steve and meet the producers. So when I was done, I had a conversation with the producers, and I knew what to pitch because I felt like I set myself up over the years to be prepared to have something to offer. Yeah. So when I was there, I said, listen, I would love to come back to your show now that you guys have met me, you see what I do, but let's do it massage therapy now. So let's add a little bit of what I do to the show. Yeah. So I talked to the producers, they loved it. At this point, you know, we're kind of like going back and forth, and I pray that that'll be something that comes about. Because that's, you know, but I would never, going on that show, it made more sense to me because I had something lined up. You know, the other contestants, they probably went on at the end of it, that was it. They may never see anything from that again, you know? So I believe it's important to, you know, make sure you have something to offer and make sure you position yourself in the right places that make sense for what you have to bring.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't make sense for that particular show or brand, what's the point of talking about it?
And I think that's what separates a successful brand that is reaching a higher level compared to a brand that is stagnant.
Yeah.
You know, because I was even thinking about it like, you know, you have to study the competition. You have to know what you're doing. You have to have a plan. Like for you, it's like you're looking at the bigger picture. It's like you could have gotten excited and just said, I'm going to be on the show. I'm going to be on Steve Harvey. It's a great, you know, it's get me a date. It's a great picture for content for my thing. But you're like, how can I even take this?
And even the contestants that were on the show, because we're in the back room, and I'm just watching these 15 guys that are having potentially a life-changing opportunity being on the show.
Oh my God, it's huge.
And they're back there just being immature, just making a nuisance. And I'm watching the producers look up at them, and they're just, oh my God, I can't wait to get rid of them. And I'm like, bro, you don't realize like this is going to carry with you. So leave a good impression when you leave. Even if you don't get picked for the date, who cares? They're going to remember that was somebody that I can have around me for a long period of time, not get annoyed of him, and he's going to be professional. So like just seeing how the mentality of all the other people were, I was like, see, that's why I'm going to go in here and kill this. You know what I mean? I was in there like, as soon as I stepped on, I'm like, I'm on the clock. You know what I mean? So everybody is going to have to see me in my professional type of way, because they're going to want to work with you. They got to see what you like. So
I agree.
it's key. Yeah.
Actually, Janet, I think we have the video clip. Janet's my producer, by the way, you guys.
Hello,
and that is like my BFFFF. Janet, you have the clip back there of Seth on Steve Harvey. Let's run this real quick. I want to show everybody what we're talking about.
Well, I'll say we have 3 stellar men. Really, you are all amazing. Very respectful, you're very kind and very supportive. Because, and I say this with love, look, and I probably would be too sitting in your chair, you're freaking out when you are nervous, Nitty. And Steve is trying to ground you and just relax.
What is you fanning for?
This is just relax.
Be poised, I done told you, but quit fanning. You can't go wrong with neither one. You got just these some solid dudes. I think all of them have enough confidence in themselves to get to know the real her instead of the nervous her, because she has a lot to offer, I really think, you know. So, Joan, Reggie, y'all want to help her out?
We have our man.
Yes.
All right. So, Cece, who's it going to be?
Well, with our quick deliberation, we went with Adonis.
What?
All right, you guys. So that was Seth on Steve Harvey. Okay, so wait, who did she pick?
She didn't pick me.
What?
Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that. Like it was fun. The psychics actually picked. So that was like the way it worked. So the psychics.
I saw something about the psychic too.
Yeah.
I saw the clip.
When they first picked us, period, they walked up to all 15 of us, and it was really just like an energy based on looking at us and just feeling our vibes, who they thought were the top 3. I don't know what I did. I mean, I kept on smiling at the lady psychic. I'm like, I'm gonna do something.
Did you lick your lips and look into the distance?
I was. Every time she looked over, I locked eyes with her, and I'd look away. I'm like, she's gonna remember this face. So when she walked over and she said my name, I was like, okay, it works. And then once we got on stage, it was like they actually picked out of the top 3. They were like, okay, who's gonna be? They narrowed it down to 2, and then she picked one of the 2. So I don't know. Maybe I wasn't one of the top 2, or maybe she just wanted to go to more.
But there was how many? 15 you said originally?
Well, on the stage, there was 3 of us.
But before that,
Before there was 15. But she had no say in that.
Oh.
The first, from the 15 to 3, was just the psychics. So she just had to sit there and kind of wait for us to come over to the stage. And then after that, she asked us some quick questions. But the questions are so quick, and they're not prepared. And there's so many different ways you can answer it. It's kind of like, it's a little bit of pressure to answer like right on the spot on Steve Harvey.
It's like Miss Universe.
Yeah. So, but all in all, it was fun. And I don't know.
Do you believe in psychics?
I mean, if she picked me, I believe a little bit. She did. I mean, there's something that's working, you know. I don't know. Like, I have to study that type of work to actually see it.
To be able to have an opinion on it.
You got to be in that world. And if you don't have anything, like, I never really believed in, like, zodiac signs at all.
Do you now?
I kind of do. Yeah, and I had an experience that made me believe in it. So, when I was younger, I had an ex, and she was an Aquarius. I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
And I was all excited about this.
Are Cancers crazy?
No, we're the best.
Oh, okay.
So we silly. So I met her, and I was so excited about her. I told my cousin, and she was really big into the zodiac signs. And she's like, "Well, what's her sign?" And I told her, I was like, "Oh, she's an Aquarius." And she was like, "Well, that ain't gonna work." And I was like, you don't even know her. How could you tell me that this girl that is my soulmate is not the one? Like, what are you talking about? You don't even know her. She told me why we weren't going to work out. She kept saying, well, because you're like this, she's like that. And I was like, whatever. So I ignored her, forgot about what she said. She actually sent me a link to read. I didn't even bother reading it. I didn't want to have that negative energy put on me before I got a chance to meet her.
Yeah.
So we went through about 8-9 months of a relationship, and it ended badly. We're friends to this day, but it was bad at the moment. And I looked back at the whole
at the link.
Everything and every argument she said we were going to have, it was almost like they had a script for what our relationship was going to be like. It may have just been...
Are you sure you weren't filming Love and Hip Hop?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Everything was almost identical. Instead of an apples and oranges, but it was still the same. It was still fruit. You see what I mean? And so as I was going through it, I was like, wow.
So you believe now?
I kind of believe it because everything that they did, and then I've met other Aquarius, and I've noticed that they had very similar traits. And so this is what I can gather that I know about Cancers, and there is some facts to it, because when I read the little things about Cancers, I'm like, that is me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, how do they know this? So, so Cancers are basically very loving. We're homebodies where we...
That is you.
Yeah, we feel safe being with just like one person. Like,
That's
we're
you.
okay being in love and just staying home and just doing very relationship type stuff. Aquarius women, because I think there's difference between guys and girls. I don't know what guys are like, but the girls, they are very independent.
Okay.
They like to be around friends a lot more, and they're okay if you're
Opposite
there.
of you.
Basically, yeah, they're okay being by themselves. They need you. I mean, I'm sorry, they don't need you, but if you're there, whatever. If you're gone, whatever. And for us, that's a very unstable place to like feel at home. Yeah, because we feel like there's no stability. Like, we're sitting here trying to get all involved and close with you, but any day you could just walk out and be okay with it. That's a very, so we never really feel secure.
So who's your most compatible person? What do they say?
I forget, actually.
I'm a Taurus. And
honestly,
they say,
I just know the ones I don't mess with. The ones, because I'm still single, I clearly haven't found the right sign, but I do know which ones don't work.
Well, ladies, if you guys are out there watching, Seth is single.
Yes.
And find out what he's compatible with. And if you are compatible with him, chat us now on live and talk to us, because he will be talking back. By the way, also, if you're watching on live right now, you guys can ask questions. My producer, Janet, is back there writing questions down, and so we can answer them live on the show. So I want to kind of go into relationship conversations, because you're obviously like a Dr. Love. Oh, that's how I met you. We spoke on a panel.
Oh, okay.
It was Valentine's Day. It's our anniversary.
That's hilarious. Well, I told you it was a year.
It's our 1-year anniversary.
I did say a year, though.
It's our friendship.
And then the radio. Okay.
Yes.
That's funny, yeah.
Oh, my God, you guys. We spoke on a panel last year on Valentine's weekend. It was like, it was me, you, April. And then, and then Phil and I forgot. I'm so sorry. I have really bad, like, I barely remembered that I met him on a panel.
That's funny,
That is how I met you. That's funny. We were talking about love and motivation and things like that.
Here we are again.
So it's Valentine's week. So obviously you don't have a Valentine?
No, not this year.
Jeez.
I know.
Have you ever had a Valentine?
You know what's weird? I feel like Valentine's Day is cursed for me.
Me too.
Whatever relationship I'm in ends before Valentine's Day. And it's not intentional. It's just like a weird curse that's been happening to me for like the past 7 years. I don't know. I hate it. I used to love Valentine's Day because I'm such a romantic, but I don't know what happened. Over the years, so now I don't even think about it. I don't get excited about it. If I'm in a relationship, I try not to like put too much on it, because I'm just like low-key scared it's gonna like everything's cool now. We had a good Christmas. Let's just try to keep our heads down until March.
You just walk right past Valentine's Day.
I avoid all fights necessary. Like, I just feel like it's weird, But,
I've never had a Valentine in my entire life.
Okay.
When I was in 7th grade, this little boy, Leo, if you're watching, hi. I don't even remember his last name. But I remember he had this little ex-girlfriend, and they broke up like 3 days before Valentine's. And Valentine's Day, he bought me like this little teddy bear and these little flowers.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, I was wearing some white overalls, and I was walking home through the field with my little flowers after school. And his ex-girlfriend and her sisters pulled up in a car, got out, and beat me up and ripped my teddy bear apart. I was like 12 years old.
That went so fast. I was not seeing that. It sounded so
it's
beautiful.
funny now because I'm like, these
Wow.
little freaking gremlins beat
how
me
old
up
were you?
on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
I was like 12 or 13 years old.
Kids are so
And I
vicious,
feel
man.
like
Yeah.
I was cursed after that.
After that, yeah.
I've never had a Valentine.
That could be enough to psychologically.
And I was with my daughter's dad for like, oh shit, I don't know, maybe like 15 years. We got together when I was like 3 years old. Don't count my age. And we would always break up.
On Valentine's.
Like just around Valentine's or
yeah,
February or something. So I've never been to dinner on Valentine's. Wow. I've never gotten flowers or balloons.
You know what it is? This is my thing. I think people put so much on Valentine's. There's so much pressure to perform and do all these creative, you know, like grand gestures that sometimes it can either get overwhelming or sometimes you feel like, I don't know, like you went all out of your way and they didn't do anything for you. So suddenly you start feeling like, damn, do they care about me as much as I care about them? So it's too much weight and pressure put on this one particular day. I'd rather just be that romantic throughout the year. Like randomly just do something. That way, if you don't receive something back in return, it doesn't matter because that's not why you did it. You just kind of did it randomly. Yeah. But when it's like this is for you, what you got for me? Like, you know, it just seems like a Christmas for lovers. So I think that's why it doesn't really... I don't know. I think that's like the downfall of
it could be like a crap out if you're not in like a strong relationship. I feel like it could be a crap out. Last year, the guy I dated, I sent him like this 14 karat gold rose dipped and whatever because it went with like his office or whatever. Yeah, I didn't get shit back, which was fine. Which was fine. You know what I mean? Because like we hadn't established whatever. I just did it because I have a big heart. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he doesn't, but anyways. But it just made me realize, like, shit, well, then maybe we aren't really, like, you know,
But had you just done that randomly throughout the year, you wouldn't have been expecting anything back. Because how would he have even known you were planning? So that's what it is. It's like trying to outdo the other person that turns into a competition and then, boom, you guys end up fighting.
And then I had to take a step back and ask myself, was I the side chick last year? Like, jeez, maybe I was.
Hey, girl, my phone was dead. It just came back on the 15th. What's good?
So somebody just asked us on live, where do they send flowers? To Seth? To me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, that is so sweet. You guys can send them here to the studio at All Access Broadcasting because I'm not going to give out my home address. But you guys can DM us on Facebook and we will be more than happy to give you guys the address here because I love flowers. I've been like sending subliminal stories. Have you been watching my story on Instagram? I've been asking for a big, giant, life-size teddy bear.
Oh yeah.
And I'm hoping like a boyfriend just magically appears in the next like 48 hours. Or
change that gift to a teddy bear now.
You guys, I am accepting big teddy bears and flowers. Oh, and chocolate-covered strawberries.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's nice.
They're so good, right?
I remember one year this girl got me those and she put like. It was chocolate, a couple strawberries, and then she used white chocolate and put like our little initials and stuff. Like it was so, it was so subtle. I know, shut your mouth. But you know what? I got where she came from for it, and I was like, it's cool, you know, like, and the crazy thing is at the time, this is gonna sound really bad, but she
let it out.
I know. This first of all, I was like a teenager, so I'm a different man now. But at the time, I had like 2 Valentines. Okay. And the girl that I really liked did nothing, and then the girl that I kind of liked did all this amazing stuff, and then I started to question. I'm like, maybe this is the one I should be with because she's so nice and thoughtful and romantic, and the one that I was expecting and wanting so much from, as far as like not gifts or anything, but just to show that she actually cared about. Yeah, and so you know, and that's all part of growing up. Like as an adult, you should just have one Valentine's, but. Back then I was just
like, who? Have as many as you want.
I mean, it depends. Yeah. I pride myself now in being just very honest with people. Like if you're going to be someone.
That is the best.
Yeah. If you're going to be that guy that like, because I have friends that will literally have like 4 different like girlfriends. Yeah. Like you have full on different relationships in which you're telling each of them they're the one. That's messed up. That's how you get a crazy girl.
You need to tell them you're a quarter of the one.
Yeah. I would just say.
Because I have 3 more quarters on the side.
Exactly. I would much rather be honest, and if it's not what they're looking for as far as like the casualness of it, they can just leave and they don't want to like come back and kill me the next day because I promised them something that I couldn't deliver.
I've always said this. It's like men are always, I mean, I've been lied on and lied to, you know, I've been that girl that they're like, oh, you're the only one, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, if all you wanted to do was sleep together, like, you could have just told me. Maybe that's all I wanted too. What makes you think I want to be with you?
Exactly,
Maybe you're just fun for me too. And I feel like people need to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
And people aren't. But I feel like also, like, social media has made things so difficult now with dating. Like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah. You can't, I mean, it's so oversaturated with options. Like, the thing, you could literally, back in the day, like in the 90s or whatever, you'd meet one random girl, like at the library or at the store.
And she was the one.
And she was probably only going to meet you for like the rest of that week. Like, she probably wasn't going to meet anybody else randomly at a grocery store or laundromat until, you know, you would at least have time to meet her, take her out, and get to know her. Now, you meet a girl, and before she gets home, she done had 10 other options.
It is so
that
true.
just came out of nowhere in her DMs.
It is so
and
true.
so it's like, how can you possibly, you literally have like a day window to get in her brain quick enough before you start falling down.
Make an impact.
Yeah, you have to do something. And that's why, like, my friends will call me and they'll be like, hey man, like, she's not responding to my text like she was the first day. And I said, okay, that's because somebody else took up her texting time. So now you got to figure out a way to get back up there. What do? I don't know. You better come up with some creative text message.
Yeah.
Say something, invite her somewhere that she's never been. Say something different, like you ride a motorcycle. Offer her to take her on a motorcycle ride. Something that most guys can't offer her because you just say the simple, let's chill. It's 10 other people that said that same line. So that's, you know, it's tough trying to separate yourself.
No, I agree. Someone just asked, is having 4 girlfriends okay?
Girlfriends, no. Having 4 girls based on the period of your life,
I think if you're dating, you can have multiple women. If you're dating, you can have, but those aren't like officially. Yeah. I feel like a relationship is a relationship, and that's the exclusivity.
Yeah.
Now, that's being in a relationship. Like, as far as marriage comes, I'm not sure because I feel like times have changed. I feel like I have a really weird mentality when it comes to this, especially being a woman. And you let me know, Dr. Love. Because I feel like we are always evolving, right? So back in the day, like you said, you would meet a girl and it was like, you know, that was probably the only girl that or whatever that you would meet like in that week, right? And now it's like everybody's just so replaceable. But I also think just like technology has, you know, evolved and everything has evolved, right? Yeah. I feel like we get stuck in the old ways, which is great if you believe in marriage and one person and being with them forever. Yeah. But I also feel like throughout my course of my life, my mentality has changed on that because who I am right now is not who I was in my teens. It's not who I was when I was 20. Mm-hmm. Like even when I was with my daughter's dad, I was with him for like 10, 15 years. Yeah. And now I don't even see myself ever being with him. So I feel like
with him or just
with him. Okay, gotcha. I'm saying because it's my experience, right? So I feel like who I become at 40, I might not want to be with the person I'm with now. Okay. So I feel like marriage is kind of hard, and I feel like
I see what you're saying. Okay.
I feel like like every new level of me would kind of want a you know what I'm saying? Like people, does that make sense? Do you get what I'm trying to say, right? I don't even know if I explained this clearly.
I hope that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
I would like to believe whoever I meet will evolve through all the different stages with me.
But some people don't like to evolve. Yeah. Some people don't know how to change. Yeah. Some people don't know how to grow. 10, and that's the scary part.
Yeah, that's a long time. I mean, because I can usually tell that pretty quickly. Yeah. And that's a big turnoff for me. Like my
what is?
I had an ex, and that's basically like if we're dating and everything's fun, we're going to movies, we're doing like, you know, simple little cookie cutter type stuff, that's fine. But once you start talking about life and you start seeing where they see themselves and suddenly you realize that you guys are going in 2 completely different paths, that's when it's like, okay, it's kind of a turnoff at this point because you really can't see a future with them because you know that you're destined for this and you're going this way. So, but I can usually tell that early on, but to 10 years in, I would like to believe that we kind of knew, you know, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I've never been in a 10-year relationship.
But I think that's why it's so important to also build a foundation with people.
Yeah.
Which, again, going back, I know I sound like a broken record. Yeah. But I feel like social media has changed that. Because what happens is I follow you on Instagram. You give me a like. I give you a like back. I look at your entire Instagram thing, and all of a sudden I feel like I know you. Yeah. So then what happens? We go out on our first date. We have a couple of drinks. We're feeling like, woo, we're attracted to each other. We get in the sack. We wake up the next day, and we're in this full-on relationship. But we never really got to know each other.
Yeah. It's like social media is pretty much like your resume.
It is, you know, and but I'm also starting to think that it's starting to reverse now.
How so?
Like, for me per se, like I used to shop on Instagram for boos. Okay, so when I was feeling lonely or like I would end with one boo, I would go on there and I would just start scrolling and be like, oh, he's cute, like, and I'm like, someone's gonna bite the bait. Someone's gonna DM me, and then I'm gonna have a new boo, and then that's gonna last for however long. But I would always go for the boos that were like successful or somebody or poppin'. Now I'm like, don't DM me, and I'm going for the boos that nobody knows, that are not on Instagram, because that shit is just getting tiring and old, because there's a million me's in their DMs and there's a million yous in my DMs. And true. It gets old. And guys
love that too.
There's love what? Do you shop for women too?
No, there's nothing more exciting than to meet a beautiful girl and find out she has like 1,000 followers. Like they're like, okay, great. She hasn't been tainted entirely, like, you know. But you're right. It's very different. Like, and it's tough to keep them entertained because there's so many people. Like, you literally can just get a DM from like Usher. Like, how does that happen? If you're a pretty girl and you're out there, literally anybody can just reach out and touch you. That's tough, because these are people that most people back in the days would never ever meet in their lifetime. Now you have access to
everybody.
Hey, you want to come on tour? You want to come here? And it's just that easy. So I'm like, how do you keep up with that? You know what I mean? You really can't. So I've gotten DMs where I'm like, holy shit, look who just DM'd me, and then I'm like, oh, I can't even reply back to you because I'm a fan, and then it's gonna ruin my whole fanship, and then it's gonna become a reality. So no, and I'm just like, decline. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So who's your dream girl if you could like have a dream date on Valentine's Day?
What kind of question is this?
Who is it? Like maybe Halle Berry? Like
all
maybe
this conversation about how accessible everything we say is.
Yeah, but I just want to know, like, who's like your crush? Like, who's your women crush?
Like a celebrity crush.
Yeah.
Because if it's someone I know, it'd be awkward. I'm trying to think. A celebrity. I had more growing up. Like nowadays, I don't.
That's because you're popping now. You have access to everybody.
No, not even that. Like,
you probably massage your celebrity crush.
I did actually. I did. You? And I'll never tell her because it would have been awkward as all.
So tell us.
No, heck no. But
we're only on live.
I literally all throughout high school, she was like my celebrity crush. And when I actually met her, but it's different now. I was doing it like 15 something years later. But it was weird. I'm like, wow, imagine, who would have thought at 15 years old I would actually be meeting this person. Better yet, doing a session for her, and then like hanging with her and vibing with her and playing music and like telling her how I'm a fan of, you know, it was pretty dope, And she was cool, and I was like, this is dope. So
how did you get into massaging celebrities? Like, how did that happen?
Well, it started with, I think the first one was Karrueche.
Okay.
Before
I love Karrueche, by the way, you guys. Is she really? She's really petite in person, right?
She is, yeah. She's
probably one of your hands covers her whole back.
Yes, she's
probably
one of the yeah. She's a little one, yeah. But what's cool before her, it was one of my exes, because she was pretty relevant in social media. So we did a video, she posted it, and then it started to get the attraction to all her, you know, mutual friends. So then it got around to them, and then when it hit Karrueche, suddenly everybody wanted to get a piece of what she had.
Of hands of food.
No, I mean, not a piece. Let me take that back. Everybody wanted to experience what she had because people just like to, you know, they're followers, I guess, in so many words. Like, there were a lot of people that I reached out to do these, and they were like, how much is it paying? Blah, 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 blah. They felt like I was, they wanted something from me because they didn't feel like I had enough leverage. You see what I mean?
Kind of like what we talked about before.
Yeah.
Early in
Suddenly, Karrueche gets a massage, and now they're calling me. I want one. So I'm like, I'll take it. I'm not going to argue with it, but it just goes to show it's really about perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what they see as value and what they see as, they stop measuring themselves like, you need me more, pay me, you know? So Karrueche opened up the door, and because she was the first one to actually publicly show what we were doing, that's when other celebrities like, okay, well, if she's comfortable with him, obviously he's a cool guy. Because who's going to like willingly put their career at risk and endorse a sleazeball? You know? So then after her, that's when Christina came, and then like, you know, everybody within her circle. And,
Christina Milian.
Yeah, and
cool.
then it was cool. And then I'll be honest, one of my good friends, EJ. I don't know if you know EJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
EJ.
So EJ, he I met him years ago at some Def Jam comedy, and I didn't really know how to take him. You know what I mean? He was just this big, extravagant, full of energy type person, and he was my client for about a year. And over the time, I just got to know him a little more, and then we started training, and then he just turned out to be like one of the coolest, like most helpful people. So he alone actually plugs me with like all the celebrities. Like he was like the one that he was the link to all of them, and so to this day he still looks out for me because everybody just loves him, and he's in that space to where if anybody ever needs a massage, he's like, hey, I know who to call, and he'll call me, and that's how I got Amber Rose, and that's how I just got all of them, you know, like Tamar, and so EJ. Shout out to EJ, my dog, you know.
So, but I feel like I want to touch on this a little bit because I think it's important for people that are watching, because I get a lot of questions based on like brand building and how we have been able to elevate ourselves. And I feel like it's always surrounding yourself with the right people and keeping people in your circle that want to see you succeed, because there's a lot of leeches and vampires that run around.
And it can even be a family sometimes. Like it's not just, you have to be around people that can actually understand the goals that you're trying to reach. They have to be either on the same level or a little higher than you. Because if otherwise it'll sound like you're bragging. It can actually be a little uncomfortable talking to people about these big moves you want to make when they know deep down they're probably never going to do that. So so I usually reserve conversations with those type of people, just about like basic stuff like sports and stuff like that. But when I have my friends that I really want to talk about some career changing moves, I have to have my core circle, because they just fuel the fire, and they just get me so inspired to do things that I alone probably couldn't have seen, but they've done it before, or they're currently going through it now. So suddenly you guys can help each other, you can pass each other off to other people that might be, you know, able to help out, but you got to be in that circle.
That's crazy. Like I'm literally sitting here and I'm listening to you, and I'm learning something from you, because no, it's true. I've never, I mean, you broke it down so easily, but it's funny because when you have dreams and you're living, you know, your life on a fast pace, like we are, chasing our dreams and trying to, you know, elevate. It's like, I've told some people that don't understand the vision, and you almost get uninspired because not that you need the applaud or you need them to encourage you, but because they're not on that same level. And then you start actually thinking that maybe it is unachievable. Maybe you really sound crazy. Maybe you are kind of loony, you know? But I will say it's pretty dope when you see other people that barely even know you support you more than the friends that you've had for a long time.
I know. But sometimes the friends that you had for a long time eventually get filtered out, and you start making new friends along the way, because you can't take everybody with you. Like it's you can always tell when the conversation is going south. You can read their energy. Let's say you're talking about some girls, or you're talking about some moments that you guys shared back in high school, and everybody's so excited. As soon as you start talking about, so I'm about to start this, you know, I'm gonna start my oil line, and suddenly they're just, oh yeah, that's cool. They don't really know how to engage in that, because they're just like, well,
they don't have that vision. They don't even know.
Tomorrow, like, I don't really, nothing's changing for me. It's very, I'm set
stagnant, and they're and that's fine, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, there's people that, you know, that do that, and that's great. You know, everyone's life is a little different. I feel like in order to be, you know, like me, producer and TV host, like, and, you know, celebrity massage therapist, and your company, your oil line, everything you have going on, like, you have, it takes a level of craziness to be, because there's a lot of hits that come with it, you know. One thing I do want to talk about real quick is I saw that, speaking of social media and influencers and stuff, Makeup Mag redid your face. That's another thing of support too. I mean, she didn't have to do that, and she did that, and I thought that was super cool.
And I try to give her as much love as I possibly could, because you gotta just, when talent is there, you have to give, you gotta pay homage to it.
I gotta, Janet, can we run the clip of
my transformation?
His transformation. So Makeup Mag is she transforms herself. She's a girl, and she transforms herself into these celebrities. And I caught on to her when Quincy posted her, Diddy's son, and so she transformed herself into Hands of Fury. Check this out, you guys.
What's up? Say what? What's up? on the ride, play all day, puff on the line. Say what, you know that I like it, baby.
That is an insane transformation.
Yeah.
So wait, how does she?
Yeah.
She looks just like you.
No, it was actually kind of weird scrolling down my timeline.
And you're like, wait, that's me.
Yeah,
wait, that's not me.
That's because she didn't text me when she sent it, or actually no, when she sent it, I was in a session, so my phone was off. So the first thing I went to was Instagram before checking my text, and I was like, what? Oh, she did it, and I started to see people tagging me in it. That's when I saw it. I was like, wow, she really. But I knew she was gonna pull it off because I've seen. She turned herself into Shaquille O'Neal. Like, if you can do that.
Yeah, she did.
What I mean?
I seen that one too.
Yeah, so.
She's just so dope. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you know what? This is a perfect example of how when you're talented and when it's for you, it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, before we leave, because we have a couple minutes before we wrap up, I just want, you know, I tend to give a lot of motivation and tips and stuff to my fans and my audience. What are some things that you incorporate on your daily that have helped you become successful?
Well, I like to be in a pattern for starters. I like to, because I have so many things going on in my head at one time that I will forget. By the end of the day, I'll be like, how did I forget? So if I have a lot, I'll write it down.
Yeah.
And I'll make like a checklist of all the things that I have to get through that day. I try to get up early enough to get the gym.
What time does your day start?
I'm not gonna lie. I get about 8 o'clock. Sometimes if I'm feeling really, really great, 7. But I'm not that 5 a.m. person. I'm not gonna say I am. But I'll get up, I'll go straight to the gym, I'll get that out of my way then. Because that kind of just, you got to be in a routine. You know what I mean? It just sets you on the right path of getting stuff done for that day.
That's so
you know?
true.
You stay in bed all day and it's just going to mess you up for the rest of the day. And then I have a routine of the things that I go through as far as, you know, fitness, as far as my networking, as far as my creating my content. And just because when you don't work for other people, you have to
Do you create content every day?
If I don't create content every day, I'm writing down what I got to do for like the other days. Because my content usually involves other people. So I can't always just think of something and execute it. But I'll write it down, I'll sketch it out, and I come up with a calendar. That way I can execute everything by that week.
I need to start creating a content calendar.
Yeah.
If anybody watching knows how to put one together, I could use some tips. Let me pick your brain.
No, it's just basically you just figure out who it is you're going to work with, because I do a lot of comedy sketches as well. So I do comedy, I do just regular lifestyle ones. I try to keep it well-rounded so that people, you know, take it seriously.
Tell people where they can follow you, actually, because I want everyone to see your content. I mean, you put so much hard work and effort into it. So where can people find you at?
So to see all of this, Instagram is our biggest presence. So it's Hands of Fury, HANDSOFFUREY.
Not 2 R's.
And no E. It's not the word. Yeah. So FUREY. And it's the same for YouTube and Facebook, and that's where you'll see all of our content that we
And if
film.
somebody would like to get a massage?
To book, the best way is to just send us a DM. You can also call 323-208-9442. It's a little quicker with the DMs because we're on that more often.
Yeah.
So whatever way is easiest for you, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you have coming up?
We have a big event tomorrow, actually, which is going to be insane. Yeah. So it's a big private event that we're putting on. It's like a pamper party. So we try to take what we do on an everyday and try to make it more social so that people can have fun with it instead of it just being
And
private.
you guys, if you guys want to do a pamper party, ladies, bachelorette parties, weddings, anything like that, make sure you guys can DM him. I've seen him do a ton of those.
Yeah. And we're a full team, by the way, so it's not just me.
Yes.
So we have guys, girls, whatever you guys need.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
You know, thanks for joining me. I'm super excited to have you as my first guest. You know,
we made history.
I thank you. I'm super excited to have you. I do want to send a shout out to Ernesto and hold on, Janet's helping me. Albert, Ernesto, and Reggie, because apparently Reggie, you have my heart now. Make sure you guys tune in every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I am Arie Rose. Also, make sure to check out Chatterbox Live on Instagram because we do a lot of talks on there during the week. So make sure you guys check that out. And we'll be back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. live with another amazing guest. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.